Okay, I'm Lisa Skinner, Director of Radiology at Wilson Medical Center, and I started out in high school trying to figure out what I wanted to do and didn't know. I wanted to go to ECU. That was my goal, to go to a four-year school. My grades weren't really all that good, so I didn't study. I just did what I wanted to do, hung out with friends, partied, and acted crazy. And then when it came time to go to school, I didn't even buckle down then. So I thought anybody could get in ECU because that's what you always heard. Well, my dad said, well, let's see if you can go to community college first. Would you consider going to community college? I'll buy you a car if you go to community college first and then transfer. So I said, oh yeah, at that age I just wanted a new car. So I got a car, went to community college, and I started out at as college transfer. That didn't go too well, and so I changed it to business administration, and that didn't go too well. I flunked a few of those classes as well because I thought that I could just go to class and not do any homework and just do whatever. So I went for about 3 years and tried to figure out what I wanted to do, and then I decided that I would go to X-ray school because my best friend in high school was in X-ray school. We were going to move to Greenville, North Carolina, and go to Pitt Community College for X-ray school. Well, that didn't work out because we didn't get in Pitt. We got in Edgecombe Community College. I finally buckled down my senior year for radiology classes and got through that and started working night shift in Tarboro. And then one of my instructors, she called me and she said, look, you do everything at Tarboro, because at that time they cross-trained you. They cross-trained you in X-ray, CT, nuclear medicine. I had did mammo and got my mammo boards, OR. So I did everything. So she said, we have a position at Wilson in what they call special procedures, which is interventional radiology. And you do stuff like biopsies and arteriograms and just all different kinds of things that I had never done. And she said, but you do everything else. I think you could do this. So I went in to interview, and they offered me about $6 more an hour than what I made. And I thought I was rich, I was like, oh, I got me this is a good deal. And I was closer to home. So I did that for a couple years, and then I got pregnant and had a baby, and I was on call every other weekend. And I said, this is not going to be for me. I got to be home with my baby some. So I ended up, there was a lead tech position across the street where they did mammograms and x-rays and CT, ultrasound and MRI. So they had approached me about that, and I said, I don't know anything about that, but since it's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, I'm going to take it. So I did that, and I went over there and didn't have any leadership skills whatsoever. And I thought that I was going to go over there and tell them what to do, and they were going to do it, and we were all going to be one happy little family. That didn't work out too good, obviously, because my mom, always taught me, my parents taught me that work ethics. You go in there, you do what your boss tells you to do, you work hard, and it doesn't matter. It's not about, that's not my job. Everything is your job when you work somewhere. So, whatever needed to be done, I would do it, and I expected the same from, the staff. But anyway, it didn't work that way, and it took me years to kind of groom and all that. Well, I decided I wanted to go back to get my bachelor's degree because I always wanted to graduate from a four-year college. So I went back and did online radiologic science to get my bachelor's degree. Once I completed the bachelor's degree, they promoted me to supervisor. From lead tech to supervisor, and so I worked several years still as supervisor, and then I decided honestly that I couldn't pay for my bachelor's degree, my loan that I had for my bachelor's degree, so I decided I'll just go get my master's degree and just continue to put it off. So I went back, and I've always been interested in people's mind and how people work, so I went back to get my master's degree in psychology. So I completed that. Once I completed that, they promoted me to manager. And I worked several years as a manager's position over at the hospital, between outpatient imaging and the hospital. I rotated back and forth. I worked as a manager there until a few years ago. And I did a lot with breast cancer awareness, I did a lot with lung cancer awareness. So it wasn't long after that when the director of radiology at the hospital did retire, or announced that he was going to retire. So they called me back and said, would you be, interested in coming back? And if they'd asked me 6 months before that, I would have probably said no, because I truly loved everything that I did, and it was the easiest job I ever had. I mean, it's just one of those things that you just loving on people and helping them get through some of the worst times of their life. But as it turned out, I said yes, because I knew that I couldn't do that for the rest of my career. I still have, several years left to work, so I didn't think I could work with cancer patients that many more years and see, the heartache and the things that people went through. So I became the radiology director in December of 2020, the end of December, and that's what I have been doing since, and it has been a journey. So if I had to do anything different, I know everybody says this, I would have started studying a lot sooner than I did. Elementary school was easy. Most of us make straight A's in elementary school. I just got in trouble for talking. Middle school, you're kind of finding your way, so you have to buckle down. But I would have buckled down in the 8th grade, 9th grade, and just started really studying harder, because it took me a lot longer to get done with college. I didn't know what I wanted to do, obviously. But it took me a lot longer, and I spent a whole lot more money than I would have if I would have just buckled down and studied a little bit sooner. Community college is great. Some people don't know what they want to do, so don't let anybody tell you that you have to go to a 4-year college to make your dreams come true, because you don't, because I didn't. Go to community college. If you don't know what you want to do, go ahead and get your college transfer, and then you can buckle even down more then and go to wherever you want to go. So I love what I do, basically because we can help people. In healthcare, you can pick just about any modality in radiology, or any career: respiratory, laboratory, nursing. And I don't want to leave anything out, but I mean, nursing, you could work in the ED, you could do labor and delivery, you can work in nursery. There are so many ways that you can help. Case management, you can do anything in healthcare, and you just have to find what you want to do and what difference you want to make in people's lives. But you can clearly make a lot of difference in the medical field. So if you have any questions for me, or you want me to find out something for you, it doesn't have to be radiology related. If it's anything in the medical field, I can find it out for you. So just feel free to contact me, and I will get the answers that you need.